Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, see what kinds of challenges we have coming our way on Thursday, and talk about what kind of trials and events that you might be able to do right now to go ahead and get you ready for those events in terms of gear and equipment and ability materials and things like that. There's a little bit of an emphasis on killers, and usually talking a little bit about like rewards and free stuff that you can get during these events as well that you don't want to miss. So we'll talk a little bit about that. This week is exciting because we're talking about Final Fantasy VIII. I'm a big Final Fantasy VIII fan, so I always enjoy turning the in-game music on while I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII content and using the Final Fantasy VIII units, because I do enjoy Final Fantasy VIII quite a bit. I will say though, in terms of units, Irvin was not one of my favorite characters. So I know that just having a unit be a favorite character or not is not always the best reason to pull. But from what I understand, he's he's a water damage dealer, and water's not one of our best elements. His particular kit is one of the ones that kind of annoys me, where you have to use their SLB to make an ability stronger, or in his case, make a unit an ability available in the first place. It's just not my favorite style of units. Units like Nora and Dwayne, A2, all kind of suffer from needing to have them at EX3 to be able to use them optimally, because their SLB doesn't do damage, it just powers them up, and it's just not my favorite style. And he's another one where his SLB gives him an ability, and he's got some killers on his gun, some killers on his TMR, but he's a water damage dealer, and water is not one of our best elements. You could pull on this though and get something from the armory if you have not yet done so. There you go. So there is a thing you can do. But even if you're not excited about the unit, there's still a bunch of events coming out. We'll start with this one here, the Grudge-Filled Ruins. The Grudge-Filled Ruins is the Final Fantasy VIII raid event against the Tonberry. Yay, Tonberries. They're demons, and he has no weaknesses or resistances in the raid. You can only break his attack and magic. And you can hit him with disease if you really want to. Now, I don't know what disease you would give a Tonberry, but, it's a thing you could do if you really want to lower his stats a little bit. And there are some really nice rewards in this raid. I'm going to scroll all the way down past all this stuff. The weapons are kind of whatever, 178 attack fist, 193 magic throwing weapon, force armlet's really old, but these are really cool. So 25 resistances to, a bunch of resistance elements. Evasion Junction is drawing attacks and giving you evasion. Luck Junction gives you more gil and items. Knowledge of Dragons gives you Dragon Killer, which is useful for another event we have going on this week. Knowledge of Guardian Forces is Fairy Killer plus attack and magic. Pretty cool. And then GF extension, we've been given this before. This is going to give you a second copy of it, which is pretty cool for most players. It is half of the 200% bonus you can get to Esper stats. This is a diet version of Ihana's TMR as a free event item. So definitely pick this up if you've never done it before. Don't skip out on these. Lots of good stuff in this raid. Not to mention all the bonus stuff that you get from over farming the raid anyway. Yeah, definitely do that. And Tonberries are cute. Look at him. He's got a knife. He's got a lantern. He's ready to bust you up. Now, he's not the only Tonberry we're going to be facing. We're also going to be facing against the Tonberry King, which is exciting. So if we go to the King of the Tonberries here, notice he gets a little crown on his head. And you're going to be doing this fighting this to get Irvine's necklace. Irvine, he gets a necklace here that gives him 500 attack, fills his MP 10% every turn. So that's pretty cool. Tonberry King is also a demon enemy. This one has resistances to fire, earth, and dark, and weaknesses to ice, water, and light, and you can use all the breaks you want. So definitely want to go ahead and get that. This one does not seem to be locked to Final Fantasy VIII units from the description here on the panel, which is cool. So definitely want to get that, but we're going to need Demon Killer for 2 events now, right? The next one here is the Sorceress, Servant of the Sorceress from the future. It's an equipment enhancement event for Renoa, basically, to get her the true shooting star. This is against Tiamat. Tiamat's a dragon, so we got Dragon Killer from the raid, And then here's a dragon enemy. So I told you that was going to be coming in handy. Here it is. Tiamat has 100% resistance to ice, wind, dark, and earth, and no weaknesses. You can use all the breaks you want. Again, does not seem to be locked to Final Fantasy VIII. Sorry. Does not appear to be locked to Final Fantasy VIII. So you can bring, you know, strong units or whatever, get this done. Yeah. She's a dragon. Dragon, you know, is not a very common killer that we have in this game. We're going to show you how to get some tonight. Talk about how to get some anyways. That way you can go ahead and grab this fully upgraded true shooting star. Even if you don't have Renoa yet, or have her at a usable level like I do, it's still pretty good. Even though she really wants to true double hand instead of true dual wield, like it's complicated. I'm actually in the middle of another video about this subject, like true double hand versus true dual wield. I might talk about it in more depth. Even though this gives her effectively 1,228 magic, she still doesn't want to wear it. It's kind of funny. So yeah, but still good. You know, free stuff is free stuff. Go ahead and pick this up now, even if you don't have Renoa. Speaking of Renoa and free stuff, we're getting another crown battle for Renoa, or for another crown battle. This one is for Renoa against the mobile type 8 in his probes. It's a machine enemy. He is 100% resistant, 100% resistant to wind, minus 20% resistant to lightning, and this one is locked to Final Fantasy VIII units. So this is either going to be really challenging for a lot of players or really easy for some players, depending on what Final Fantasy VIII units you have. Frankly, we don't have a lot of them. I have all but one of the Final Fantasy VIII Neovisions units. I think. No, I have them all. I've got all the current ones that are available. So yeah. You know, we're going to be getting more Final Fantasy VIII units probably in the next couple of weeks. So maybe if you can't do it now, hold on. If you're going to be pulling for any of those units, maybe you'll be able to pull this off. But I'll show you just an example of some Final Fantasy VIII units that you can use. Don't forget that some of the 7-star units still provide a lot of utility, even though they might not be doing the most damage. So pretty cool. Anyway, mobile type 8 again, resists wind. He's weak to lightning, and it is locked to Final Fantasy VIII. So we're gonna need Machine Killer. Last but not least is this event here, Ruled by Hatred. This is a unit enhancement event for Sorceress of the Present, Edea. This is against Elnoil, a demon enemy. So we have demon going on in 3 different fights this week. So we're gonna talk about how to get some Demon Killer tonight. He has no resistances, weak to dark, 50%, all the breaks you want. And bringing Final Fantasy VIII units gives you bonus drops, so make sure you bring as many as you can. And in fact, I'm planning on starting with this event so we can go ahead and get Edea, who's going to help us get more raid currency, who's going to help us be getting more points in the unit enhancement event, and things like that. So that's pretty much where I'm going to start. I'm going to burn all 5 of my raid orbs, then go do Edea, or get Edea out of the this event. And then take her to other stuff, because you know, getting her to EX3 is going to get us a lot of bonus currency in various things. She's an SLB mage. One thing that's worth noting is her TMR, Sorceress Power, gives you LB gauge fill rate 100% and 100% bonus Esper stats. So like if you pair that with GF extension, you hit the 200% cap with just 2 slots. So that's pretty cool. If you don't have Ihana's TMR, then, you know, 2 items, 2 abilities can make up the difference of 1. So that's pretty neat. Definitely pick that up. Her STMR is really only good for her. And she's a, you know, element locked mage. She's a magic type mage, though she's not a physical type mage. So that's kind of cool. She can also reduce resistance to whips, rods, throwing weapons, and deal dark damage to all enemies with Frigid Strike. Kind of funny, Frigid Strike does dark damage. Who knows? There you go. We're gonna get a free unit. I've said this before, don't skip out on free units, even if they don't seem like they're the best. You never know when something's gonna come in handy. You know, I've used Kelger for various clears. I've used Sonin for various clears. Don't skip out on these. So let's talk really quick about Renoa's crowns, because that is important. So Renoa gets crowns. They're basically the same thing in both forms. She gets an LB gauge 600 every turn, magic 1500, LB effects change, boost equipment magic by 100 in the base form, and it's the same thing in the shift form. It's just more magic true double hand or true dual wield. LB damage, magic 50, 1500 magic bonus, LB defects, and then 150. So it's basically the same in both forms. It just boosts her up. She's also getting Awaken +3 Apocalypse, which is a 1250x modifier, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, I think, wait, hold on. 4500 divide by 100, yeah. 450x, sorry, not 1250x, yeah. 450x modifier, which is, if you multicast it, that's pretty big. And then she's getting Arrow Rod, Dark Rod, and Throwing Mastery 1 and 2. And she's getting the ability upgraded to Meteor of Angel Wing. So she's getting some stuff. She's also getting a leader skill, which is, a thing that she's got. Yeah. Free stuff for Renoa and Angelo. Mine's on the EX0, so I'm not too excited about that one, but, I like free stuff. And then speaking of leader skills, we're getting leader skills for Kyros and Ward, Zell, Squall, the old Squall, NVA Squall, for Cypher, and then Irvin, regular Irvin as well. So lots of stuff going on there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's talk a little bit about the killer. So I know we said we need some machine killer. Machine is not too hard to come by. There's not a ton of options though. If you take a look here, oh my gosh, too many things on the screen. There we go. You can get Machine Eater Sense from Doulahan, which I've done a ton of times. There's a lot of clears in this series about Doulahan. Lots of TMRs and STMRs. Valued Memories from the original Irvin is really good. I've been using it a lot this week, gearing for Clash of Wills. Mechanic for the Royal Family from Cindy, also very good. Last Guardian from Noel, also really good. Also has Dragon Killer on it, which might be useful for you in another trial. So Machine Killer and Dragon Killer in one. Very cool. Lots of other good things there for Machine as well. So pay attention to those. Don't skimp out on it. There's only one trial for Machine, but it is there. So there you have it. Thankfully, a lot of the Final Fantasy VIII units are good at fighting machines anyway, so that shouldn't be too hard to gear your units. In terms of Dragon, we have one fight with dragons this week. Don't forget you're going to get some Dragon Killer from the raid, so do the raid and then you'll get some Dragon Killer. But you can also get Dragon Killer Plus from Trial of the Dragon King, and as well as recipes for that. Dragon Eater Sense from Octomammoth. Lots of ways you can get some Dragon Killer on your party. There are some additional sources that are physical only, like the Dark Lord, Great Sword, and then just a handful of items and stuff as well. So definitely don't skip out on it. Dragon Killer is like not that uncommon in our game, so you should have a lot of it. But even less uncommon than that is Demon. So Demon is huge. It's a huge category. There's lots and lots of Demon Killer in this game. The best trial reward that you can get from it is Crucifying Coercion. It has a 100% Demon Killer, which is really nice. You can also get like Demon Killer Plus, Demon Eater Sense, Mask of Ashura, a couple of one-handed weapons with Demon Killer on it, the Quicksilver FFBE, and the Ega Blade. So lots and lots of things here for Demon Killer. Force Mysterian from Lunera has 100% Demon Killer on it. Lots and lots of good things in the game for Demon Killer. So don't worry about too much, but there are 3 trials that give you Demon Killer. And so we're going to show you how to get Crucifying Coercion type if for some reason you've never done it. We're going to show you an easy way using a bunch of new units that are just going to totally wipe this out. But we're going to use like one really strong older unit that's going to carry it for us. And we've done a little bit of this before. But now that we have the new True Dual Wield cap, and we have leader skills, it's a little more fun. So we're going to show you how to do that now. And all we're going to need is a random Ibarra friend. Doesn't even have to be a good one. They were just using their buffs, so that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and show you that clear now. I'm going to get this out of the way and switch over to our our fight. So if we're going to go into the Vortex, and we're going to go into Nemesis and Chamber of the Fallen, and then go to Scorn of Ashura. So this is where you're going to get Crucifying Coercion. It's right here, and it's a good ability. I'm going to show it to you in the items here. And all you have to do is clear this quest. So you don't have to worry about evoking espers or not dying or doing fire damage. You don't have to worry about any of that just to get Crucifying Coercion, but you should definitely go ahead and do it. Ashura has two forms. One is Demon Human and one is Human Reaper. So bringing somebody who can buff those is useful, but you don't have to. We're going to be bringing in Ibarra friend who's going to do it for us. And then we're going to totally ignore all this other stuff because we're just going to kill this in 2 turns. So here we go. Grab a random Ibarra friend, a mega weapon. Here we go. And then we're going to take a couple of things here. So we're going to take a breaker who's going to do whatever element you want. I'm doing a dark team because Ibarra can do dark imbue for us. So we're going to be bringing a good dark breaker. Gilgamesh, the new Gilgamesh should be a good one. Does not have to be Axstar the Return. It could be any dark breaker you want. But I'm going to be bringing Axstar just because. And he's only wearing one thing. He's wearing his dark breaker ability, but he does not have to have it. You can just use his regular breaks just fine. Rain is here just as our leader skill unit. He's also got a stat buff, which is useful. Not wearing any equipment, as you can see. Squall, it does not matter. This is just here to chain with our main damage dealer. So we're just going to give him his greatsword, and that's all he really needs. He's just going to chain, nothing else. Okay. And then Abigail, mine is kind of geared kind of crazy. I just got EX3 today, so I was having some fun gearing her and stuff like that. But she's got way overpowered stats here. Her defense is important for this trial, and then her HP is really important. But beyond that, Abigail just does some tanking, and she's going to deal with the damage that's coming in very, very easily. So nothing to worry about. The big fun thing about this is now that we have Kunshira's STMR, gearing hybrid damage dealers with 100% true dual wield or 400% true dual wield for attack and magic has gotten a lot easier. So here is Starlight Alina wearing some good attack and magic gear, 2 magic control rings, and as a result of that, she's got 400% true dual wield in her in her build. And then she's got room for killers now a little bit, so, if we take a look at her abilities, she's got 3 slots for killers. She's got hidden power for her, her bonus stuff. I'm letting her wear the Dark Visions Vision card, or the Dark Lineage Vision card, just because it does give some stats for hybrids, and is not terrible. So 300% or 300 attack and magic. Technically some LB damage. And then some percents as well. So it's not a terrible free vision card. Hopefully you got it. But here's Elena. So out of combat with Rain's leader skill and full true dual wield, she's sitting pretty high on the hog there with 13,000 magic and attack. Could be maybe better depending on what else you got going on. Maybe you got a better vision card, something like that. But for now, that's what we got. And then we got a random Ibarra friend who's going to do some buffs for us. We're just going in here to get Crucifying Coercion. So all we have to do is kill Ashura, and we'll get that. To help us with that, Axstar is going to break, so he's just going to use his Magnus break and a Dark Imperil. There we go. Our Ibarra friend is just going to do the various prayers, so Jinmetsu and Kinmetsu, and then Darka, and Darka to give us Dark Element to our attacks. There we are. Rain is just going to status buff us with Aldor Leader. Abigail, this is kind of important. She's going to be using her Omni cover, so Methodical Mitigation, Contingency Plan for evasion stacks, and then just Drone Decoy for more mitigation. There we go. And then Squall is just going to triple cast Bolting Strike to chain with Elena, who's going to be using Star Supernova and 2 Gemini Blades. And we're just going to chain this up and goodbye Ashura, right? Again, this is the trial version. This is not a super hard fight. This is more just like, let's play with leader skills and true dual wield, right? Abigail tanks it like a boss. Ashura died and come back. If you've never done this trial before, you know, that's kind of what happened there. So we have to reapply the brakes and stuff. So we'll do like full breakdown and Moonless Sky, or if you've got it, Dark Breaker. There we go. We'll just guard everybody else. If you feel like it, you can reapply stuff. You could do a stat break or stat buffs. You don't really need to because our damage dealer already buffed herself. And we'll just go ahead and do guard here. Reload Squall, and Elena's just going to triple cast Gemini Blade, and you know, Ashura is going to be gone. I know this is not hard. You know, Ashura is an old trial, but you know, Starlight Elena definitely able to take it out before, and now with leader skills, she's even better. So that's exciting. Leader skills and the ability to easily cap out true dual wield. You know, casually doing 13 billion damage in that fight, very casually. And that's it, really. So that'll get you Crucifying Coercion. And like I said, it is a very good ability. If we just take a quick look here. It's magic 30% and then 100% physical and magical demon killer, which is, you know, very nice for a trial reward. One of the highest killer based, or this is probably the highest killer based trial reward we've got. So definitely go grab this one if you've never done it before. As we were messing around in Twitch tonight, one of my viewers said that he had never done a lot of those trials. A lot of these trials are not difficult by today's standards. So definitely go in there with like any modern unit and just wipe them out. Ibarra is going to have no problem wiping any of it out. Heck, even Tsukiko wipes them all out by herself. As long as you can do one of her elements, she's totally fine. So there you have it. So Final Fantasy VIII coming our way on Thursday. We'll be playing through all the like single run stuff, like the EX fights and stuff like that, live on Twitch. On Thursday, we're not going to be doing, I mean, I'm going to do the raid and the Adia stuff during the day if I can, just to save some time. But, you know, we'll be doing all the EX fights and things like that. So hopefully you come out and take a look at that and we'll have some fun with it. In the meantime, take care of each other, be good. And we will see you Thursday where we'll do some more fun stuff. All right. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Go get you some killers.